Welcome to Beijing, the capital of the People's Republic of China. Population, about 20 million people. Look like we've got a KFC over there and a 7-Eleven. Oh shit, we got a Domino's too? Dude, am I in China or in any city in the US? So currently I think we're in the Hutong area of Beijing, which is more so a older part of town. The Hutong area has a lot of these old traditional houses, kind of these, you know, old streets with lots of vendors. And here in the Beijing Hutong area, specifically the Dongcheng neighborhood, you'll find places like this, the Lama Temple, which is one of the most important Tibetan Buddhist temples in Beijing, if not the most important. It actually used to be an imperial residence a very long time ago, and then they eventually just converted it to a Tibetan Buddhist temple. And it's interesting because it is in Beijing, very far away from Tibet. It does have a little bit of a blend of that Tibetan architecture, but also Han Chinese architecture. But this is my first temple here to visit in Beijing, in China. So although we are in Beijing, we have a more so Tibetan prayer wheel like this. So it's interesting to see that blend of Tibetan and Han Chinese architecture in a place of worship like this. This place is actually cool as hell. The bridge here across to this other temple, actually pretty impressive, especially after traveling in Asia for like 7 weeks already now. I didn't know if I was going to be kind of templed out, but yeah, it's actually pretty sick. Here at the Lama Temple, there's also a 18-meter tall wood carving of the Maitreya Buddha, which is a Guinness World Record. I don't know exactly what record, but let's take a look at it. And I just saw somebody here, I guess like raiding these lighters. I don't know if you're allowed to like take these, but someone, I mean, I just saw those two guys that were just like looking at every lighter in here. I don't know like why. They work. I don't know if I need one. But if you're in Beijing looking for a lighter, just go to Lama Temple, and near the exit, you could just grab a lighter. Okay, so you can just walk up to a little stall here in Beijing and get skewered meat. So it looks like this is like lamb skewer. There's some sesame seeds on here. All right, turning off the main road here and exploring down into just a random Hutong. It's kind of what we're looking at here. Still got people going by making the deliveries with water, and a lot of bicycles and these kind of electric vehicles. You see these a lot. They've got a good windscreen right there. And yeah, I really like here that they have a place where you can put your hands in here. So we've got, you know, like a place where you can put your hand and they'll keep it warm. We've also got kids riding by on a bike. Yeah, lots of people coming in through here. Another thing I'm noticing here in China as well are tarps on cars. I don't know if these are like inoperable or what's going on here, because they also have the cones right here, but all of these cars have tarps over them. But it also could just be if they're not using them to keep them, you know, protected from the elements, which is definitely like a normal thing, right? But this one too. So I mean, just this like little street, this area, I mean, I look down and I can see even more, just like the same way these cars with the tarps over them. But look at this thing, this like one of these little electric vehicles again with like one seat right there. Man, I would love to drive one of these like little tire, but this one looks more like brand new almost, and a single wheel in the front. Look at this one's got a dang guardrail right there. So dude, this person could go off-roading here. Yeah, this thing is really, really cool. And it's the steering wheels, I don't know if you can see here, but it's almost like a bicycle, I guess, because it's got this single wheel. Very cool. The tarp. Why do I see many cars with tarp on them? Is it for the weather? Okay. Appears that it is for the weather. Anyways, well, little interesting thing about China there. And yeah, I know other YouTubers are probably giving you much more interesting content, and I'm showing you how the Chinese people put tarps on their cars. And I believe I found some Sichuan style noodles, because after the first bite, I get that kind of mouth numbing, tingling feeling from the Sichuan peppercorn. I remember I used to think that like Sichuan food was like really spicy. It's really, really spicy, too hot to handle. But I've since found out it's more of that, like kind of that mouth numbing flavor. It's something to do with the chemicals in the Sichuan pepper. And also now whenever I take a drink of water, it's got like a metallic taste. Very interesting. But these are pretty good, I'd say. I just got like a beef noodle, and it's got that deep red broth more so. I think that's another indication that it is more of the Sichuan style. But yeah, I just popped into a place, honestly. Good quality though. All right, I need to go get some coffee, but I don't want to walk too much. I'm pretty sure I can take one of these little bikes here in Beijing. One of these blue ones like this. And I think I just like use this app, Hello Ride, and Alipay. So this is again what it's looking like an Alipay. Do I ride on the street? I'll just follow people's lead. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna ride on the street. Let's see what it's like to bike in Beijing. Okay, I'm biking in Beijing. I don't know if these are electric assist or if these are regular. I think they might be electric assist, which if that's the case, that's awesome. I probably should have adjusted the seat a little bit. Do we stop too? Okay, they're going through, so I'm gonna follow their lead and say that it's okay to run a red light, I guess, if no one else is coming. If you're on a bicycle. Good things to do in a foreign country. I haven't ridden a bike in years, and here I am in China just bicycling around. So one thing you'll notice here in China, yeah, it's like so quiet on the road. I have heard there's a lot of electric cars, and especially compared to whenever I was in Vietnam a few weeks ago, and all of the motorbikes, like they still have like little mopeds here, but I guess they're electric as well. So the streets are very quiet here. Now I know that improves the pollution as well, not having as many gas cars. I definitely should have adjusted the seat height. I just took it and ran with it. Well, this is a nice little street to ride on. Dude, this is just awesome. Yeah, let's go down here. Here, there's like nobody wearing helmets on the street riding motorbikes. Maybe it's because you go at a slower speed or something, but also I'm not wearing a helmet. But it seems like no one's really like speeding either, so I don't know. just an observation. And it looks like we've made it to this cafe I'm going to. Looks like there's some others right here. I can just put it right here by it. Okay, I think that's good. That's riding a bike in Beijing. Okay, you know, it's a beautiful day this afternoon. It's warmed up a little bit. Could probably drop the jacket, but let's go to Tiananmen Square. I've just booked a Didi on the Alipay app. Okay, got dropped off a little bit further than expected, and he was telling me, I think that, you know, it's easier just to walk up this way. I will say for my second ever Didi, that took so long. I maybe would have liked to have rather biked or taken the subway, but again, it was like $3, so I was like, oh man, I'll take the car, sit there, get there fast. No, it took forever. Okay, Tiananmen Square, let's check it out. And I guess I had my hotel just take my app and book this the Tiananmen Square appointment needed, and I just walked up and they said, oh, this one says tomorrow. And I guess there was something lost in communication whenever I let them book it. So this was 2 days ago, and so I tried to book it for today, and it appeared whenever I looked that there was times available. Well, I have no idea what to do now. Okay, well, yeah guys, that's my experience at Tiananmen Square. Dude, the traffic here. I do love these tricycle type vehicles I see in Beijing though. I do see this a lot, just people going down the wrong side of the road. I know they're going pretty slow. Somebody else going down this one-way street. Let's see how this goes. All right, we're all good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like, damn. Also, maybe this isn't a one-way street. Hell yeah, brother. Book it. Like, what is that? What does that guy have in there? What is he transporting? I may be going slower, essentially, than taking the taxi, but this is an infinitely better experience. I will say it is like 70 degrees out right now, so the temperature is very conducive to biking. And somebody going the wrong way. Weaving in and out, no worries. Okay, there's just a going in between two buses right now. Okay, we made it through that. Did not get smashed by the Chinese EV bus. To these old looking restaurants. Is someone honking at me? I don't know. One thing I'm seeing here at one of the subway stations right back here, just the sheer number of these rental bikes. Actually, I guess maybe this is a place where either they're set up at each day, or maybe they're like set up this way during the day, so whenever people are getting off work, they can get off the subway stop and then just like look at the sheer number of these bikes for rental right here, kind of right across this bridge right here. Look at that. A beautiful little walkway, little spring balloons going on. What a really nice little river area. Beijing, man. This is kind of interesting right here. Whatever these like old tricycle things you see all around Beijing, they're usually used to transport stuff. So again, I see these all over the place. This one is like old and rusted in front of this old building. So again, in these Hutong areas, a lot of these are being renovated. So a lot of them are being renovated to be, you know, have businesses go in them. And also right here, hanging keys out to dry. Interesting. But it is interesting being here in Beijing especially with any preconceived notions you have about the city and from other things you see online, like what other YouTubers are saying about Beijing, which I've seen so much stupid stuff online. A lot of people that come here and say, oh wow, they have so many Teslas and there are a lot of like high-end luxury shopping, and I'm like, that surprises you about the capital of China? Like, I don't know. I feel like whenever we're talking about like preconceived notions about China and like people's ideas of the country, like, I don't know, did people like watch The Last Emperor whenever they were a kid in the 90s and then like never thought about China again, and then came here and were like, whoa, it's not like dusty roads and, you know, like Forbidden City stuff? I'm like, I don't know. If you, maybe I'm just more in, you know, I guess as someone who likes to travel, maybe I keep up with countries and stuff more often than the normal person. But to see like travel vloggers come here and like the extent of their thoughts on China, or like, I'm surprised the roads are clean. Like, bro, what? But I don't mean to say that and make it sound like, oh, I've been here now for a couple days and I'm gonna tell you how Beijing really is. Definitely on the contrary, I feel like this is one place that I've been where I truly feel like I know less about it the longer I've been here. But you know what? I've just been in Beijing. So maybe to see more of China, we need to get out of Beijing a little bit. And then in the next one, we'll get some impressions of what it's like outside a major city in China. So let's get our stuff ready and head to the train station.